Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cartoon Season. I am Tyler, and this is where I get to talk about animation, whether it be cartoons, anime, movies, all that stuff. And today, we're doing Encanto, Disney's Encanto, one of their more recent films, and one I thought was pretty good. You know what I mean? I thought it was pretty good. It was one of those movies that I thought about a little bit, the day or two after it. So it always means it's a good film when it has you thinking about it, after you actually watch the film. And yeah, it was a fun time. There's a few things I do want to talk about. I want to talk about some of my favorite songs, from the film. I want to talk about the gifts that each of them have and kind of how they're all unique and all that stuff. And then I want to talk about Mirabelle changing other people's minds. That's kind of her thing in this film, is that she kind of gives everyone else a new perspective, a much needed new perspective. So yeah, with that, let us start the show. So like I said, I want to talk about some of my favorite songs from the movie. I got a few of them here. The Family Madrigal, where Mirabelle basically introduces the family. I think this is an underrated song that people don't really talk about too much with the, when they look back at Encanto. It's basically the first one, and like I said, it's when she introduces her family to the kids, kind of talking about it. It's a very easy way to kind of introduce also the viewer to some of the backstory, some of the world, what's going on. Yeah, it's just very nice. We're kind of going through the house, the family members, and then I even like how it ends with her getting pressured because the kids are like, wait, what about you? Where's your gift? You haven't mentioned your gift yet. And then she keeps circling around to other family members. She starts telling about family members she's already mentioned in the song, and she's really dodging the question, and then at the exclamation point is at the end when the song ends, but it's revealed that she doesn't have a gift, and it's like, okay, that's what the movie is. Okay, got it. Yeah, I do really think it's a nice song to introduce the movie. Another one I like is Surface Pressure. That's when Louisa sings about her insecurities regarding her strength. That one's really good. I like the kind of tempo, and especially the how much the song changes within itself, I think is fun. But then also the message of the song is nice because it's really, I'd say it's really the first time that one of the members talks like this, about like how their gift is sometimes a curse, right? I know it's kind of cliche. It's a gift and a curse, but that is a big theme of this movie. And I think it's the first time that one of the members talks about it like that, where she's like, yeah, I'm strong, but like, what if I'm not strong enough? I'm supposed to be the strongest one here. What if I'm not enough? Then what are we gonna do? Or even another way to look at it is like, what if strength is all I have? Is there nothing more to me than just my superhuman strength? I think those are all valid questions. I don't agree with either of those because I think Louise is cool, right? She can be more than just her muscles, right? But I do love the song because it's like, wow, like there are Madrigal family members that are, be second guessing themselves, Another one, probably the most played song outside the movie is We Don't Talk About Bruno. Personally, I think the song got overhyped for me. It's still a really good song, but the way people talk about it as if it's like, it's clearly like far and away the best song in the movie. I don't know about that. But still really good. They kind of recount all their negative experiences with Bruno, which helps, what's her name? Mirabelle kind of understand why people don't like Bruno, why they don't talk about Bruno, because bad stuff always happens around them, which later you kind of realize it's not super fair. Bruno just kind of talks about stuff. It's not really, like he sees the future, he doesn't make the future happen, but the family doesn't care about that because they just connect two dots and just come up with a very easy solution for their brains to understand instead of actually, I don't know, caping for their family member. As much as they talk about family, for them to just cast out Bruno kind of crazy. And then the last one is What Else Can I Do? And this is when Isabella realizes she doesn't need to be perfect. Love that song. Fantastic. I love the visuals of it. I love them kind of working together, Isabella and Mirabel, finally being sisters, in the way that they never really were. So I love that. And also the song itself, realizing she doesn't need to be perfect. I think that's something that especially the grandmother has built up for her, is that she is the perfect little flower child. And Isabella, that's tough because now nobody's perfect, right? Hannah Montana. Nobody's perfect. And so now Isabella has to try her best to fit into that mold. And that would be stressful for somebody, for you to feel like if you do anything that's not perfect, your grandmother, who's the head of the household, will not love you as much, or maybe cast you out the same way that Bruno was cast out. I don't personally think that the grandmother had an iron fist. I don't think it's quite that way, but it was close. Where you wanted her approval, because if not, then you might not be loved anymore. But yeah, those are some of my favorite songs. Songs I really like from the film. I don't know, those are all the songs. Are those every song? I don't know. But overall, I think the music in this film was really good. Sometimes Disney movies come out and some songs in it are it's okay, it's all right. But I think Encanto was a good one. It was definitely good. And with that, speaking of being perfect with the gift, let's talk about some of these gifts, man. Let's talk about some of the gifts. So we got Mirabel has no gift, right? And that really plays to her character, because she is the member with no gift. So now she has to live life being in a family full of people with gifts, in which she does not have one. And kind of having to wonder why she wasn't given one. But it all kind of works out in the end, because she's able to kind of flip, like I said, the perspective on everyone, and realize that you don't need gifts to be a part of the family. She kind of single-handedly did that. Well, with the help of Bruno, and she kind of was gathering members as it went on. But yeah, that's her. Bruno can see the future. Crazy gift. He can just see the future. Unfortunately, it seems like a lot of the future he sees always has some negative events. But I think the future, that's a wild gift to have. Louisa is strong. We already touched on that. I don't really understand that one. Was she always into strength, or did that change happen automatically, where she turned the door and then she was a super buff child? Yeah, I don't know. Kind of interested to find out when that change happened, because she's super buff now. Julieta can heal people with her cooking. That's the coolest gift, I think, because she can cook really well, but then also when you eat it, you get healed immediately. You heal whatever bruise or bump or scrape or whatever, broken bone. We got you. Just eat this slice of pizza. You know what I mean? Great gift, fantastic gift. That's the one I want. Peppa controls the weather with her emotions. That's kind of a scary gift, honestly, because that's one you can't really control. That might be the scariest one. I don't know if I like that one, because and her especially, she's very emotional. I don't know if this is a chicken or the egg situation, but I don't know about that one, guys. Isabella can make flowers. We already touched on that. I feel like that's a very boring gift. You can just you can make flowers. Okay. It's not a very practical, everyday use gift. And then we got Camillo, who can shapeshift. That's a really cool one too. I don't think he can't change his voice, but he can shapeshift. That's fun. Pulling a lot of pranks. He's definitely the mischievous one in the family. Antonio can speak with animals. That's cool. That's probably number 2 for me, behind the healing cooking. Talking to animals will be fun. You can understand what they say. You can chill with them. You can hang out. You can help them out. when they might need something. That's a big thing with having a pet, right? Where sometimes it's tough. It's tough to know what your pet wants, because they can't speak English and you can't speak pet. So sometimes it'd be nice to be able to talk with them. Um, and then Dolores, she has super hearing. Super hearing. That one's pretty fun. You can hear people from super far away. You have very sensitive hearing. Again, I don't know if it's something that's like hard to control, but I think having super hearing could be cool. Again, I don't know if there's a lot of practicality to it, but I don't know. I think there's ways that you could make that practical, probably. It's definitely more, one of the more like superhero type gifts that exist in the family. Maybe like so you can crack some safes with it. You know what I mean? You can hear the tumblers. That's kind of where my brain goes. But yeah, these are pretty much, I believe, all the gifts that exist in the family, and they are kind of random. But part of me does like that aspect of the film where you don't know what gift you're gonna get, and it is kind of random. And so, like when you get a gift, it's just like, okay, how do we make this useful and make this like productive towards this town? It's fun. And then finally, I do want to touch on Mirabelle changing other people's minds. This is the main plot, the main through line of the film, is Mirabelle not having a gift and her trying to help people, and especially with the like cracking of, or like the candle going out or whatever, like that whole thing. She really has to dig deep, because everyone else is like, whatever, everything's fine, and Mirabelle's like, no, it's not. So she makes Bruno use his gift again to save the family. That's huge because Bruno kind of swore off using his gift because of how much negativity seemed to always come with the gift. So he was this, and it also like made him an outcast. So I could see him being like, no, I never want to use it again. I'm done. I'm not doing it. It just brings sadness everywhere I go. I might as well just not use it anymore, ever. So for Mirabelle to be able to change his mind and be like, no, you should use it. I need your help with this to save the family, is big. And then she helps Isabella break free of others' expectations, again with the "What Else Can I Do" song. She kind of helps her sister realize that, hey, you don't have to be perfect, and you can live for you. Like you don't always have to do stuff for the family or do stuff for abuela. I don't know why I said it like that. But you know what I mean? Like you can be your own person. If you don't want to marry that guy, don't. Like how about don't? And that's great, because it even starts out, like I said, with them not really being close, but you can clearly tell that both of them want to be close. Like they would love to be real sisters. But their disparity between like their gifts and their expectations has just caused there to be like an emotional crevasse between them. And so for Mirabelle to be the one to kind of start building the bridge across it, and for Isabella to reciprocate, it's awesome. And then lastly, she stands up to Abuela Alma, makes her realize that she's putting insurmountable pressure on the entire family. Yeah, that's the crux of the film right there. Because as you go on, you realize that everyone is kind of tweaked out. Like everyone is stressed out about this. Like we already said, Luisa with her stuff. We already said Isabella with her stuff. Mirabelle as a whole. You know what I mean? Like, was it Peppa? Peppa going nuts over all this stuff. I mean, like, everyone is kind of freaked out. And everyone, again, is trying to fit into this perfect mold that Abuela has built for them. And it's one thing to, like, believe in your family and to be supportive and to want them to be their best. But it's another to seemingly, like, push them in a direction that they may not want to be in. I mean, again, you look at Isabella, it's like she didn't want to be with that guy. But she was like, oh, it's what Bella wants. Bella thinks it's a good idea. This will help the family, I guess. But no, it's not what she wants to do. So for Mirabelle to be the one to say, hey, they're struggling, and like, it's somewhat justified. You see Abuela's past and how she got here and what she had to go through and everything like that. Like, I understand it, but I think Abuela kind of lost her way. And, I feel like sitting down with everyone and being like, hey, let's talk about this, I feel like would be the best course of action for her. And Mirabel kind of put that in action, which it makes her special because no one else was willing to do that. It's only Mirabel. So yeah, very fun, very good, very fun movie. Yeah, I thought it was good. Good. One of the better like modern Disney films, because sometimes they'll hit or miss. Disney films nowadays aren't ever really bad, but sometimes they're just kind of mid. And I think Encanto's at least a little above mid. You know what I mean? But yeah, that is it. Please let me know what you thought of Encanto. Let me know what your gift would be. I guess you can pick from the ones that already exist. Maybe have your own gift. What would you want your gift to be? I definitely like the cooking one. Cooking one would be cool. That would be a lot of fun. I think mine, if I had to pick a new one, but like pick one that's kind of random, but also useful. I think it'd be cool if I could like turn liquids into other liquids. You know what I mean? So like my practicality aspect would be like a super practical way would be like, oh, let's take a cup of like pond water or whatever and like turn it into drinkable water. You know what I mean? Like that'd be like cleaning it or whatever. And so that would be like awesome to get drinkable water from, two people that don't have it. But then also the more fun aspect of it is that I could turn some tap water into like some like iced tea or something just with the snap of my fingers or whatever, so that'd be like the fun aspect to the gift. So maybe do something like that, again, kind of random, not like a superpower, but also has practical elements to it. And yeah, go check out other episodes of the Cartoon Season podcast where I talk about other cartoons, anime, and movies. Go check out my animation reactions if you're into animation. And then go check out my gameplays. Those are a lot of fun. And until next time, make sure to watch more cartoons.